Welcome to Gomer Games Tips. What we're going to do today, we have laid some roads down and created some slopes, some overpasses, some tunnels, a roundabout. We are going to go over the zoning of the residential, commercial, industry, and office in the forums and on Steam and different chat rooms. It's called RICO, stands for Residential, Industrial, Commercial, Office, and that's these bars down here. So when you have a lot of green here, you need residential, and then the center one is the commercial, and this other one over here is the industry and office demand. Okay, so click on your icon here, and this is the zoning. And when you click on that, it pulls up all of the tiles connected to your roads, your city roads. And then at the very beginning of the game, you will have the low density residential available, the low density commercial available, and the industry available. You will have those three, the high density residential, high density commercial, and the offices will not be available until you reach certain milestones, certain population limits of the game itself. So let's go ahead and go over the zoning and place some zoning. We'll click on low residential here, and there's a number of different tools with on how you can lay this. And this looks like a paint can with paint coming out of it. That is the fill button, and it works a lot like the old paint programs, where it will fill in any continuous row of blocks. It will fill that in with whatever zoning that you're wanting it to do there. So you can just pick that and zones all that residential, and pick that, and there we go. Really easy to use. This square button or marquee is the one I use the most because I think it has a little bit more control than any of the other options. But you basically just pick a tile and you just draw a square, and you can make it any size you want, however you want to do it, and you can control your zoning that way. Like I said, that's the one I prefer, but it's kind of personal choice. And then these two here are the same. They're just brushes, but they're different sizes. So you can see the brush on there, and then you just left pick, and it kind of paints the zone in. So there's a little bit of control there, but depending on what you want to do, and then you can pick the little brush, and there's a little bit of zoning on there, or a little bit of paint on there also. And then if you have any of these picked, and say you create you're right here, and then you right click and pull a window down, it dezones it. And that's the same as this button right here. This is a dezone button also. So you can click this and left click, and that will dezone also. But you can also right click. I just left click there, but you can right click and dezone too. So that's kind of the quickest way to do it if you zone something you don't want to zone. So we'll put down some residential there, and let's do some low commercial right here, and right here. And then maybe some industrial. We'll do some industrial right here. Now the way this works in the game, residential is obviously homes, and commercial is shops, places for your citizens to buy groceries, buy goods, go out to eat, entertainment, movie theaters, that type of stuff is all commercial. And then the industry is factories and where goods are made. Offices are, which come in later on in the game, are offices that you'd find in larger cities, accounting, lawyers, uh, finance offices, all that different types of stuff available. So once you have your zoning in, you just start your city, and obviously your residents will come in first. And you want to keep an eye on these, the demand. You don't want to place too much. If you don't have much demand for the commercial and the industry, you don't want to fill in too much of that. And then obviously to start with, if you're playing with money on, which I am not here because this is kind of a tutorial, um, I, you don't want to place too much residential. You kind of want to fill in a small couple blocks, and then as it fills up, and your commercial goes up, put in a little bit of commercial, and then as your industry comes up, put in some industry. Now, you want to keep your industry away from your residential. The industry obviously pollutes. It's a little bit different than real life. If you go into larger cities, or even small towns, really, there'll be a small factory or a distribution center right across the street from a housing complex, an apartment building, or even just a residential neighborhood to be right across the street. In the game, it doesn't work that way because the industry will pollute both noise and um, ground pollution, air pollution, so it will make your citizens sick. The commercial is okay right next to your industry, but commercial does also create noise pollution. So you do want to make sure that you have your health care, which we'll go over in another video, your health care up to par, so that way it keeps your citizens happy. I think that's about it for the zoning. Um, We'll wait to create the power and water until we'll fill those in, but we'll go over those in the next couple videos. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos, and hit that like button. Feel free to leave a comment, and we'll see you next time. This is Gomer with Gomer Games.